Picture this. It's 3 a.m., and I'm ripped out of sleep by the sound of splintering wood, like someone's tearing my house apart. My heart's pounding as I stumble outside in my boots and boxers, flashlight shaking in my hand, only to find 3 HOA board members swinging sledgehammers at my fence. My pride and joy, the one I spent 6 months building to honor my granddad's legacy. And there's Linda Carver, HOA president, smirking under her headlamp like she's starring in some low-budget villain flick, telling me my turquoise and yellow fence is an eyesore, a violation of her precious neighborhood rules. But here's the kicker. I'm Jed Harper, a third-generation rancher with a pregnant wife, a ranch bleeding money, and a temper that's been pushed way past its limit. So when they thought they could smash my family's history and walk away, they didn't know I was ready to fight back with everything I've got. And trust me, this fight got wild, changed laws, and lit up the internet. So stick around, because you're going to want to hear how it went down. I'm Jed, 54, hands calloused from years of roping cattle and fixing fences on our 50 acres in Willow Creek, a patch of Texas dirt that used to be nothing but wide-open ranch land. My granddad, Amos, built this place with his bare hands, a man who'd settle arguments with Peach Cobbler and judged you by how you treated your horses. But now it's called Sunnyvale Estates, where city folks move in to play rancher on weekends. Wearing cowboy hats they bought at the mall, that fence they smashed it wasn't just wood and paint. It was 6 months of my soul. Every Saturday I'd be out there, coffee in hand, the smell of hay and gasoline in the air, painting those posts turquoise and yellow, Amos's old racing colors from when he ran Mustangs and won enough trophies to fill a barn. I carved little steer heads into every post, sanded down vintage ranch signs until my fingers bled. My wife, Clara, 8 months pregnant with our miracle baby, called it our sunshine fence she'd waddle out with lemonade, her hand on her belly, smiling, saying, "Amos would love this, Jed. It's perfect." And the neighbors, they loved it too. At first, Rosa Delgado's kids would run over to count the steer heads. Old Hank Grayson's grandkid learned her colors pointing at those yellow posts. Even the newcomers waved and smiled. But then Linda Carver rolled into town. Think high-powered Austin attorney in a red BMW, strutting around like she owned the county. Within a year, she'd crowned herself HOA queen. Because nobody else wanted the job, and we thought, how bad could it be, right? Famous last words. The violation notice hit like a kick from a mule, hand-delivered by Linda herself, dressed like she was heading to a boardroom in 100-degree heat, reeking of Chanel and arrogance. "Mr. Harper," she says, "no hello, just, your fence violates Section 3.2, Earth Tone Aesthetics, repaint it beige or face fines." I laughed in her face. "Lady, this ranch was here before your subdivision," was a twinkle in some developer's eye. But she pulls out a binder thicker than a Bible, quoting a 1990 Sunnyvale covenant, her eyes cold as a winter storm. "Compliance isn't optional," she says, and I'm standing there, smelling the ink on her fancy paper, thinking, this ain't about aesthetics, this is about control. That night, I'm at the county courthouse, fluorescent lights humming like angry bees, digging through records that smell like dust and old promises, and I find it, Linda's 1990 covenant. Missing 2 signatures, legally worthless, like trying to cash a check from a bankrupt bank, and better yet, I spot 17 non-earth tone properties in our neighborhood, including Linda's own lime green mailbox. Hypocrisy so thick you could spread it on toast. But here's where it gets juicy. I notice a pattern. Linda's husband, Greg, runs Lone Star Bank, and 5 families who got HOA violations recently all got foreclosure notices from his bank. Coincidence? I think not. Clara's folding tiny overalls when I get home, her humming soft like a lullaby. "What did you find, cowboy?" she asks, and I lay it out. Linda's running a scam, pushing people out to buy their land cheap. Clara stops folding, her eyes wide. "You mean they want our ranch?" And I nod, because this isn't just about a fence, it's about stealing our home, our baby's future. For generations of Harpers worked this land. Amos survived floods, recessions, and a war. I wasn't about to let some city slicker in heels take it over paint colors. So I call up Rusty Malone, a local lawyer who wears boots to court and knows Texas property law like I know my herd. We file harassment charges, demand proof of HOA authority, and Linda hits back hard for $100 daily fines, retroactive, legal threats from Austin lawyers with letterhead that costs more than my truck. Clara's hands shake reading their cease and desist. Jed, they're trying to bankrupt us, she says, her morning sickness worse from the stress, and I feel that metallic taste of panic. But Amos always said, when someone's pushing you this hard, they're hiding something. So I keep digging, and what I find changes everything. Over coffee at Maria's diner, strong enough to wake a coma patient, County Clerk Sofia Alvarez pulls up records on her creaky laptop. Your HOA queen's been busy, she says, scrolling through property deals, 6 homes bought in 2 years, all through shell companies. All after HOA violations, the pattern's clear as day. The Wilsons got cited for too many flower pots, sold for pennies after fines piled up. The Garcias got hit for a non-compliant porch swing, foreclosed when they couldn't pay. It's predatory, create violations, pressure sales, buy low, flip high. Sophia winks. I'm just showing you public records, Jed. But the real gut punch comes at dinner. Clara comes home from the grocery store, tears streaking her face. Lila Grayson wouldn't even look at me. Crossed the street like I was poison. Then Mike Delgado shows up at our door, smelling of the same cedar cologne he's worn to every block party, holding a manila envelope. Jed, I'm sorry, Linda offered my daughter a scholarship. We can't afford college otherwise. Inside, the original fence complaint, Mike's signature, dated weeks before Linda's first visit. You sold us out. I say, my voice hollow. 8 years of shared beers, borrowed tools gone. I know, Mike whispers, but my kid's future comes first. It hurts worse than any sledgehammer, but it lights a fire. This isn't just personal, it's war. Rusty's office smells like leather and hard work. I dump my evidence on his desk, property records, violation timelines, shell companies. Jed, this could be RICO-level stuff, he says, but we need to go public, make it too big to bury. So I post everything to our neighborhood's Facebook group, violation patterns, invalid covenants, photos of Linda's own green mailbox. By morning, it's got 50 comments. Neighbors I barely know chiming in. We got fined for our red door. They tried to buy our place cheap. The Colorful Creek group blows up to 300 members. Channel 5 calls for an interview. And suddenly, neighbors are fighting back. Hank paints his shed purple. Rose's kids add pink flamingos to their yard. The rebellion smells like fresh paint and defiance. But Linda doubles down. Flyers in every mailbox. Jed Harper's ruining your property values. Don't let one man's selfishness hurt your kids. Vicious. But her big mistake comes on live TV when asked about us longtime residents. She says, some people don't belong in a desirable community. And Hank calls me laughing. Jed, she just pissed off everyone who's been here longer than her. Linda's next move is a kangaroo court at the community center. She's got a podium, a projector, photos of my fence circled in red like a crime scene. This fence attracts riffraff, she says, her voice dripping with that coded snobbery that makes my fists clench. Clara squeezes my hand, knowing exactly what riffraff means in Linda's world. People like us, ranchers, teachers, mechanics, not her kind of upscale. But while she's playing queen, I'm playing detective. Sophia slips me documents over. Tacos at Maria's. Linda's husband approves mortgages for her buyers, she says. They force families out. Greg's bank swoops in, finances the new owners, and Linda flips the properties for millions. It's a machine, and my ranch is the final piece. Then Rusty calls. Jed, Linda sent her nephew to inspect your property. Clara filmed it, the guy strutting around with a clipboard, snapping pictures of our well. Asking about water rights. I ask for his credentials. He stammers. I don't need any. This is HOA business. Turns out he's a car salesman from Waco. We post the video online. It goes viral, 1,000 views by midnight. Linda's a laughingstock, but she hits back. County citations for every colorful fence, shed, mailbox, using government muscle.